Good morning, LPES, and happy Friday feeling. Today, we are going to be talking a lot about our breath, of course. We're going to be talking a lot about checking in with our emotions. And I wanted to make it kind of St. Patrick's Day themed because I know next Wednesday is St. Patrick's Day. So I was thinking to myself, okay, can we do something with leprechauns? Can we do something with like pot of gold? There's not really anything out there that ties into that nicely, except when we think of a leprechaun's pot of gold, it's always underneath a rainbow. So today we're going to be talking a lot about rainbows, and we're going to be doing some activities that involve rainbows. In particular, some rainbow breathing to kind of start things off. So as usual, I want you to just get nice and comfortable. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. Now, before we really get into this, there is something that I wanted to talk to you about. The sun's kind of coming in. All right, we'll embrace the sun. We'll move into it. That didn't quite work. That's okay. So before we really get into this activity today, there is something I want to talk to you about. And that is, for some of us, these Friday feeling videos, maybe you're not super into them. Maybe when you see me pop up, you're like, oh, Mrs. Heffler, she's going to want me to calm myself down. She's going to want me to focus on my breathing. But honestly, I just want to keep go, go, go. I don't want to stop. I don't want to start thinking about my feelings. I don't want to stop and focus on my breath. And I get it, friends. I do. So it is not always easy for us to sit. It's not always easy for us to kind of quiet our mind or to focus in on something like our breathing. And the same goes for me. I'm going to tell all of you something. Almost every morning, I try to do it every day, I have an app on my phone. It's called Headspace. Some of you might use it. Some of our teachers or parents might use it too. And it is an app that kind of talks you through some mindful moments, just like what we do here. And it's not always easy for me. A lot of times when I'm sitting there and trying to do those breathing exercises and just kind of tune out the world, my mind is thinking of everything I need to do at work. My mind is thinking of what my Friday Feels video is going to be. My mind is thinking about all of you, my students, and things that maybe you're going through. And it's hard to quiet our minds down. It's hard to focus on our breathing. And what I wanted to tell you before we really got our exercises started today is that just like with anything else we do, the more we do it, the more we practice it, the easier it becomes. And so if you find yourself during these exercises thinking of what your math test is or what you're doing after school or where your basketball is this weekend, your basketball game, your basketball, what you can do is you can remind yourself that the more you practice this, the easier it's going to be, the easier it's going to get. So with that being said, like I said, we're going to do some mindfulness activities and some breathing this morning. And if it's a challenge for you, just remind yourself, it's okay. I don't need to be perfect at this. But the more I do it, the easier it's going to be to tune into that mindfulness, and the easier it's going to be for me to feel calm throughout my day. Because once you have these activities in your brain, you can kind of grab them whenever you need them. You don't always need Mrs. Heffler sitting here in the sun. I'm going to move a little bit, guys. Sorry. Oh, that's so much better. You don't always need Mrs. Heffler here guiding you through this. Once we do these enough, you'll be able to sit there, and if you're having a spelling test that you're struggling with, you'll be able to go, oh, you know what? I'm going to do some peaceful breathing right now, or I'm going to do a quick body scan from the top of my head to my toes, or I'm going to check in with my 5 senses. I love that one. All of those things. All of those activities are keeping us in the present moment. When we're focused on the present moment, it makes it really difficult for us to think about the future worries that we have, and it makes it really difficult for our brain to focus on what's already happened in the past. Because sometimes we like to replay things. Did I say the right thing? That was embarrassing when I answered wrong. Or, wow, that was a really big fight this morning. I really didn't like that. Whatever it might be. So when we focus on the present moment, it calms us and it helps us to focus in on whatever task is in front of us. So that's why we do these activities. And like I said, the more we practice them, the easier they become. So my kindergartners, you guys have it really easy because right now you're starting in kindergarten. By the time you get to 4th grade, you're going to be like mindfulness experts being able to do this on your own. That being said, Let's all sit up nice and tall, wherever you are, whether you're at home or at school. Make sure your back is straight. We're not leaning over, not laying on the couch or on our desk. And we're going to start with some nice, calm breaths. And I'm going to bring up a rainbow thing right now for all of you to see. Okay. So we have rainbow breaths. And it says, trace an imaginary rainbow in the air, starting with violet, starting with the color violet, that tiniest little color. You can see the finger pointing to it down there. Breathe in as you trace up, and then once you get to the highest point of the rainbow, you're going to breathe out as you trace down. And notice your breath getting longer as we go. All right, next we're going to have indigo. Ready? Breathe in and out. Good. Next up, blue. Nice work. They're going to get longer as we go on. Next, green. Very good. Next up, yellow. Remember, try to be breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. You're getting longer. Next, orange. And we have our last one, which is red. Breathe in and out. Nice job, my friends. So, I hope that doing those rainbow breaths helped you all to feel a little bit more calm, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more ready for St. Patrick's Day perhaps too. To wrap up our time together today, we're also going to do one of those mindfulness activities where we are trying to focus on something or trying to picture something in our mind. And today's is called, perfectly themed, I Can See the Rainbow. So it goes like this. Again, we're sitting up nice and tall, relaxing our bodies. Today, we are going to practice noticing the colors that are around us. So to begin, keep your eyes open and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now I want you to calmly look around you. Try not to move your bodies too much. We shouldn't be getting up and moving. But look around you and find something in your room, in the room that you're in, that is red. Really look at it. In your mind, think about how would you describe what the color looks like? What shade of red is it? Is it bright? Is it dark? How do you think that object would feel in your hands if you were touching it or if you were holding it? When you're finished, let's move on and search for something orange. Take another deep breath in as you're doing this with me. Did you find something orange? Go through it again. Think about what shade of orange it is, what the object is, how it would feel in your hands. Next, we're moving down the rainbow, our Roy G. Biv. So next up we have something that is yellow. Big deep breath in. Let it out. Is it light yellow? Is it bright yellow? Is it dark yellow? And remember, if we are in a room with other people, if we're here at school, we're not shouting out what we see. We're not going, all right, take a deep breath in. Let it out. So we're moving on to green. Let's find something that is green. What shade of green is it? How would you describe it to a person who has never seen the color green before? Thinking about all of this in your mind, we're not saying it out loud. All right, as you take another deep breath in, slowly shift your attention to something that is blue. What type of blue is it? Bright blue, light blue, dark blue? How would that object feel if you were touching it, if it was in your hands? big is it? How small? Lastly, deep breath in. And find something around you that is purple. How does that shade of purple make you feel? Is it a bright purple, dark purple? Is it a purple that makes you feel nice and calm? Now close your eyes, visualize, picture your favorite color that you observed. Whatever your favorite color is, try and picture it in your mind's eye. Notice how you feel when you picture that color. As you're doing this, take another deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. I want you to picture that color. This is going to sound a little weird, but I want you to picture that color almost like it's lighting up. Even if it's a dark color, even if it's like dark blue, picture it like there's a light behind it. Picture that you can actually feel that light on your face, on your body, on your hands, warming you, giving you energy, making you feel nice and good for the day ahead. Take another deep breath in and let it out, my friends. You can go ahead and open your eyes if you haven't done so already. So one of the things I love about this kind of activity is, again, it's one of those things that you can do wherever you are. If you're home, if you're driving in the car, if you're in class somewhere, you can always kind of just pause, look around you, and go through those colors of the rainbow, especially if you've learned them in class, my younger students like Roy G. Biv. Going through them and trying to find things that are each of those colors, focusing them on them for a moment and then letting them go. And this is also another activity that can improve our ability to focus. It can improve our ability to listen to what our teacher's saying, or read the book that's in front of us, or focus on the lesson that we're learning, especially if it's a virtual lesson. Sometimes it can be hard for us to focus just on the screen in front of us. We want to think and do and play with all the things around us. So when we do activities like this, we are strengthening our brain. We're strengthening our ability to focus. We're strengthening our ability to kind of calm ourselves down and be in the present moment. Now, I have one last activity I want to do with you today. And this last activity is going to be kind of stretching, just like we were talking about before with our rainbow ideas. So when we think of a rainbow, we think of it going from one side to the other. So we're going to be doing a lot of stretching from one side, kind of sliding our hands or almost smearing our hands. I want you to picture something on your hands like paint. Like if you had a huge giant canvas in front of you and you were taking your hands and you were painting a rainbow. So first we have that red color going over, okay? So you're sitting in your chairs, all right? Or if you're home and you want to stand, that's okay too, whatever you'd like to do. And we're really gonna focus on stretching our arms, but you're also gonna feel it in your core, right? If Mr. T or Mr. C talks to you about your core, when we talk about our core, it's our center, like kind of the piece of us that kind of holds us all together. So you're gonna really feel it in your whole body. We're moving ourselves like this. So whichever side you start on is totally fine with me. Pretend that you have your hands dipped in that red paint. And we're going to go ahead, take a big deep breath in and stretch. Sliding that paint over that canvas. Now, if you're really imagining, you're going to picture that your hands then get clean and dip them in orange. And let's go ahead. Stretching back the other way. Again, painting that rainbow. Next up, yellow. And slide those hands. Good. Next up, we have green. Big deep breath in as we do this. Next, blue. And last, we're going to do purple. Nice job, my friend. Shake out those arms. Squeeze up your shoulders, roll them out a little bit. Good. So I hope that these activities help you feel a little bit ready, a little bit more prepared for your school day. And I hope that they can help us to all focus, especially when we're feeling a little nervous, a little worried, Totally normal. Focus on the things around us. Try your best to stay present. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Happy Friday feelings, my friends, and I will see you next week.